Hello everyone and welcome back. In today's video, I'll be addressing a topic not very many people have been paying attention to. As many of you know, multiple companies have been offering antibody tests so that you can know whether or not you've had the coronavirus. You've also heard that these tests are frequently inaccurate. Many people send their blood to a big company, confident that they will come back positive. They remember having all of the symptoms, feeling sick, and even being around other people who were sick. When they get their test back, they are surprised that it shows that they're negative. Why is this? The truth is that when a company conducts an antibody test, they are usually only testing whether someone has antibodies to one particular protein, which is called the receptor binding domain. What they're not doing is testing for antibodies to all of the other proteins which are on the virus. In truth, it's really extremely difficult and time-consuming to test for antibodies to all the proteins on the virus. But if you are only testing for antibodies to one protein, you can't assume that patients who are negative with this test are negative to COVID-19. You can only assume that they did not make antibodies to the receptor binding domain. At our lab, right around here, we've tested patients who tested PCR positive, were ill, and recovered. These people have a very wide range of antibody levels. In fact, some of these people have no detectable antibodies at all to the receptor binding domain. But how is it possible for them to have recovered from the virus without making any antibodies? The answer is that these people fought the virus with antibodies made to other proteins. I am an example of someone who tested negative for antibodies to the receptor binding domain. I just didn't have any. I was tested for these antibodies just a few weeks ago. The test came back negative, and I wasn't surprised at all. I remembered being slightly sick back in mid-February, but according to the news, there weren't any COVID-19 cases around us in the area back then. But then I was tested for antibodies to another protein. Guess what? My test was positive. I had the coronavirus. I'm not the only one in this situation. A family I know was sick and PCR positive. After recovery, only one of the 3 people tested in their family had antibodies to the receptor binding domain. Does that mean that they didn't have antibodies at all? Nope, that's not true. What we can learn from this is that more people have had COVID-19 than we previously thought, and people can make antibodies to more than one protein to fight it. Guys, thanks for watching, and please subscribe.